a man that gets satisfied. A lot of people think that he will actually end his presidency in 2030. You remember they were preaching about 2030. All of us were thinking this man, he just wants 2 additional years. We were just shocked when the bill began to surface to learn that the man did not just want additional 2 years. The man was changing the constitution, changing the voting system of Zimbabwe, changing a lot of things in the constitution that strategically favor him politically. And if truth be said, Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa is not earmarking just 2030. In fact, he is looking for more. Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa wants to die in office. That is the reality. And I have said it when I have been arguing that, this is not a man who is ready to give anyone political position. This is not a man who is ready for such intervention. Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa wants to lead Zimbabwe for life. That is what he wants. That is what he is earmarking at. And what Goodwills Masimirembwa was speaking today in a video that is circulating on social media, saying in 2030 we want Mnangagwa to be given 7 more additional years. That is what happens with demagogues. They start asking for small things and then they will continue asking now for bigger things. He was just testing water with 2030. He is seemingly having it. And guess what? If you allow him to reach up to 2030, already they have started to sing the song of 2037. The songs of extension will not definitely stop. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So let's listen to a short clip of Goodwills Masimirembwa, and then I will talk more about this ZANU-PF.
For an additional 7 years after, from 2030 to 2037, he must lead the party. And who else can do better? It is only our president, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. Remember also, he is the senior surviving member of the Masimirembwa, the revolution that brought this country to independence. So we still want him for an additional 7 years after, from 2030 to 2037. He must lead the party. That is what Harare is saying as the president and first secretary. Beyond what we are celebrating today, we need that visionary. We need the man with wisdom. We need that strategist. Okay. But we still want him for an additional 7 years.
I was checking. Okay, so firstly, one thing when you are dealing with these ZANU-PF rascals is to just check whatever they are trying to feed Zimbabweans. Now, the allies that he spoke in that statement, that Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa is the only senior surviving liberation fighter. I think Blessed Keza told us, he cleared this, that Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa, when they were fighting during the liberation struggle, he was not there. He was in Zambia. He only came when the struggle was done. He didn't fight during the struggle, especially at the height of the strugglers. The struggle around 1970s, he was never there. Blessed Keza have said that, other war veterans have said so, underscoring that he is not a crocodile, as some actually have projected. In fact, he is a lizard. The war veterans have told him so. There are many senior war veterans, surviving senior war veterans in Zimbabwe, other than Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa did not handle a gun. And I'm quite certain he can't even shoot the gun. He doesn't know how it works and how it is operated. So Goodwills Masimirembwa, who is Goodwills Masimirembwa within ZANU-PF? He is currently the ZANU-PF chairperson, provincial chairperson in Harare. He is the man who has been pushing for this 2030 term extension when it began, and at the initial phase of the Blessed Geza revolution. Firstly, before the Blessed Geza revolution, during the ZANU-PF conference, before in fact the first ZANU-PF conference, his office were petrol bombed, and unfortunately an innocent security officer who was guarding his office died after some days, because it is definitely linked with his support for this 2030 term extension. He is problematic in ZANU-PF. In his province, that is when they began to fight against those who were against Emerson Mnangagwa's term extended. Almost about more than 9 officials, if not 9, were fired during the initial stages of the 2030 term extension for Emerson Mnangagwa. Those were opposed, saying the constitution does not allow that at its current state. They were actually fired. And at one point, he was also at loggerheads with the wife of Emerson Mnangagwa. And also, he is a man who is playing in the hand of Mnangagwa. Surfacing for the very first time after a long time. We have not been seeing him in these public forums. Today, he surfaced. Of course, he was not speaking. He was just next to this Goodwills Masimirembwa. So it's quite good to see him that is now well. Definitely his disappearance proved us right that something was definitely not right with him. And as he was next to Goodwills Masimirembwa, he never said anything. I'll check, maybe he commented during the Constitutional Amendment Act number 3, which they were busy celebrating. So now they are asking, he is asking for 7. So it goes to tell you that the 2 terms that they have been busy asking for is not what Mnangagwa want. Zimbabweans were just taken for a ride. This was meant to deceive those who said, no, there is a constitution. Those who are real constitutionalists, not the pseudo-constitutionalists like Emerson Mnangagwa. So this man, we will never quench his thirst for power. Remember, he has been in government for 46 years. So it's someone who doesn't actually, he doesn't get enough. At his age, one would think that he would not be doing or pulling these tricks that he is pulling that are very, very dangerous. So Goodwills Masimirembwa at it again. Now they are, I'm telling you, they are launching the next 7 years that they are demanding for Emerson Mnangagwa. He says it will begin in 2030, but I don't think that is where this is going. You will hear them to say no, because a lot of people still want Mnangagwa to stay in office. The president has not completed his second term. Why don't we give him a fresh mandate so that he start another 7 term? 7 long term. And in the process, they will be still buying more power to make the man stay in power as much as he can, unless there is something that can be pulled by the people of Zimbabwe, or unless there is something that can be pulled by the military, or unless there can be something that can be pulled by the faction of retired General Chiwenga. At the moment, it is wounded. Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa have been recording successes one after another, with actually CAP 3 translated to Constitutional Amendment Act number 3. The man has been scoring big. This is factual, as unfortunate and as also painful as it is. That is the reality that is currently playing out. But for how long? That is the mind-boggling question, and also on whether Zimbabweans would be tolerant to this evil regime, because the evil regime of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa comes with poverty, comes with economic decay, comes with mass migration, comes with a lot of pains, and we see what is happening to Zimbabweans in foreign land. They are not wanted, particularly in South Africa. Our brothers and sisters are stranded. The government is even failing to evacuate them. They have been staying, in very, very destitute environments for quite a long time. The government is doing nothing to address a large number of Zimbabweans who wants to be repatriated from South Africa to Zimbabwe, because it is not capable. It is seized with enabling Mnangagwa to stay in power, and a few individuals, few circles around him actually siphoning the resources that are meant to benefit me and you. These resources are not benefiting the rightful inhabitants of the land. In fact, it's just a family and those who are connected to that family. So we're yet to see whether this dream of Goodwills, Masimirembwa, this time around will further be tolerated. They are now speaking of 37 Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa in power. Should they be taken for granted if Zimbabweans do not stand up and do something? Unfortunately, that is where we may be heading to if there is absolutely no one who stand up and stop that. And if Zimbabweans continue to just watch on the sidelines, definitely ZANU-PF may actually go to that extent. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Is out. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast. Definitely